So we're in the church in Angoville du Plain. Angoville du Plain. So my French is terrible. But this was the aid station in 1944 where two medics set this up as the location for medical treatment. And they were pretty firm about setting this up. They didn't allow any weapons inside. So it was set up for aid, and they treated both the Americans, obviously, but they also treated some of the Germans in here. So one of the medics set up a Red Cross flag on the door of this place. His name was Kenneth Moore, and another guy by the name of Bob Wright. Two medics, and they were just, they weren't surgeons, but there were a lot of injured, a lot of wounded in here. And this church was dedicated to two saints. I forget the saint's name, but you can see the statues up there of the two saints. And poetically, those saints were named after, or they became saints because they were helping anybody, right? Their deal was taking care of people regardless of their denomination, religion, stature in life. So they became patron saints of this church. Now, there's an interesting story that happened here in up above. Let me see if we can get a picture here. So the Germans were shelling this place, and a mortar landed on the roof right up there. You can see where it landed. And thankfully, it was a dud, and it landed right here. You can see the space on the floor right where that mortar landed. And it was a dud, otherwise it would have obviously exploded and killed everybody in here. And I forget the number of people that were in here, but it was in the hundreds. And they piled them up here in the pews. And if you look in some of these pews, let's see if we can find some, you'll still see some of the blood of the wounded. Yeah, there you go. So here, right? So that is where some of the GIs bled out as they were waiting for aid from the two medics that took care of everybody that was here. Now there's a book. I think it was well, obviously one of the two medics. I forget which one. It was either what was his name? Bob Wright or Kenneth Moore. Yeah, Bob Wright and Kenneth Moore. But one of them wrote a book, and they talked about that rear door. See the door back there? So they only allowed, that door was remained closed. And what they did is the injured was brought in through this side door, the door that we entered through. And a German soldier flung open those doors and looked inside with his machine gun. And, he could have sprayed everybody and killed everybody in here, but he realized all the guns were outside, nobody in here was a threat, so he just backed up, crossed himself, and continued on. So, pretty famous place. And the windows, the stained glass windows in here, even reflect the Bob Wright and Kenneth Moore, June 6, 1944. So much history here. Just amazing.